Surrounded by Idiots. This video is based on key insights from the book Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erikson. Introduction: The man who was surrounded by idiots. In high school, Thomas Erikson noticed he connected more easily with some friends than others. Conversations flowed smoothly with certain people, while others seemed to misunderstand him. This puzzled the young Erikson. He couldn't fathom why some chats were effortless and harmonious, yet others were frustrating. Erikson, in his youthful naivety, assumed folks who didn't get him were at fault. So he started testing people, saying similar things in various contexts to gauge reactions. Sometimes discussions blossomed, while other times conversations hit a wall. People stared blankly, as if Erikson spoke a foreign language, leaving him bewildered. Erikson's youthful perspective was simple. Those who responded right were good folks, and those who didn't were the problematic ones. He naturally avoided the difficult people, unaware of his own role in the dynamics. As life progressed through work, family, and career, Erikson continued categorizing people into understandable and unfathomable groups. It wasn't until he met Stuart, a self-employed businessman in his 60s, that Erikson's understanding began to shift. Stuart, while successful and knowledgeable in his field, struggled with interpersonal relationships. He demeaned his employees as idiots, failing to grasp that he was the common denominator. Stuart couldn't comprehend why others didn't think or act like him, labeling anyone different as an idiot. One day, Erikson asked Stuart who hired these supposed idiots. Stuart admitted it was mostly him. This realization sparked a lightbulb moment for Erikson. He saw the folly in Stuart's narrow-mindedness and didn't want to follow suit. Driven by this insight, Erikson decided to delve into understanding human behavior better. He wanted to decipher why some people were quiet while others talked nonstop, why some always told the truth and others lied, why some were punctual and others were late. He wanted to comprehend why he liked some people more than others. Erikson embarked on a journey to understand these differences, adopting a system known as DISA, an acronym for dominance, inducement, submission, and analytic ability. Each trait is associated with a color: red, yellow, green, and blue. This system, also called the DISC, categorizes behavior types, explaining how people view themselves in relation to their environment. Erikson's newfound knowledge transformed him. He became less judgmental, more patient, and less likely to clash with those unlike him. His life changed because understanding human behavior enriched his personal and professional relationships. Erikson encourages readers to follow a similar path. By learning about how people relate and communicate, one can enhance their interpersonal skills. He advises readers to keep reading and promises that this journey will be rewarding, just as it was for him 2 decades ago. Chapter 1: Communication happens on the listener's terms. Thomas Erikson posits that human communication is a complex dance influenced by individual frames of reference, biases, and preconceived notions. When you speak, your message doesn't just sail straight into the listener's mind unscathed. Instead, it passes through various filters. These filters can alter your message significantly, causing the listener to interpret it in ways you never intended. This isn't meant to dishearten you. It's simply the reality of communication. You can't control how someone processes your words, but you can influence the outcome by considering their preferences. Adjusting your communication style to align with others' comfort levels makes you a more effective speaker. Erikson emphasizes the importance of adaptability in communication. Each person has unique behavior patterns shaped by attitudes, beliefs, and approaches. Understanding these patterns allows for better guesses about how someone might react in different situations. It also helps in getting your message across more effectively. Erikson acknowledges that no system can fully capture human communication's intricacies. Books, tools like DISA assessments, or even psychological studies can't encompass the full spectrum of human behavior and communication. We're all complex beings, too nuanced to be summed up entirely. Yet, understanding basic principles can help prevent major misunderstandings. Behavior patterns, Erikson explains, are like a toolbox. Just as different tools serve different purposes, so do various behavior patterns. Using the right tool, pattern in the right situation, fosters better understanding and harmony. Recognizing these patterns isn't about judgment. It's about appreciating our differences and adapting accordingly. Erikson reassures us that all behaviors are essentially normal, albeit predictable to some extent within specific patterns. These behaviors can change, are unique to each individual, and are understandable when considered in context. It's crucial to respect these patterns, including our own, and learn to adapt our communication style to suit different situations and people. In essence, Erikson encourages us to view human behavior as a rich tapestry of unique patterns rather than a set of rigid rules. Effective communication hinges on our ability to understand, respect, and adapt to these diverse behaviors. By doing so, we can navigate the intricacies of human interaction with greater ease and success. Chapter 2: Why Are We the Way We Are? Thomas Erikson explores the origins of human behavior, attributing it largely to a blend of genetics and environment. Even before birth, traits inherited from parents and ancestors set the stage for future behavior patterns. The exact mechanisms are still debated among scientists, but they concur that heredity plays a significant role. For instance, physical resemblances or shared characteristics like red hair can be traced back to relatives, illustrating genetic inheritance at work. Once born, children generally exhibit spontaneous and uninhibited behavior. They act on their whims, asserting their will with phrases like, "No, I don't want to," or "Sure, I can." This innate freedom isn't always appreciated by parents, however. Over time, this natural tendency can morph into mimicking behaviors observed around them, often leading to imitating the parent of the same gender. Erikson highlights that children learn and develop primarily through imitation. A child tends to replicate what they see, absorbing behaviors from their surroundings. This is not an exhaustive explanation, but serves as a foundation for understanding how influence occurs within families. Core values, deeply ingrained in one's character, are shaped during early life, often learned from parents or taught in schools. These values become almost unchangeable, guiding our sense of right and wrong. For example, Erikson was instilled with the value of hard work and fairness from his upbringing, leading him to avoid conflict since childhood. Similarly, he values equality, shaped by his parents' demonstrations during his youth. Attitudes distinct from core values are formed based on personal experiences or lessons drawn from later stages of education or early career. They can shift over time with new encounters. Erikson cites a relative who distrusted salespeople due to past negative dealings, demonstrating how attitudes can evolve with experience. Both core values and attitudes collectively form our core behavior, the genuine self we aspire to embody in unrestricted conditions. Yet complete freedom from external influences is rare. Societal norms, expectations, and situations often guide our actions. Strong self-awareness can help adapt these behaviors for different social contexts, like maintaining separate masks for work, home, or family occasions. Erikson introduces a formula to illustrate this dynamic. Behavior equals the function of personality, influenced by both genetic traits and learned values attitudes, multiplied by surrounding factors, the environmental influences. This means our actions are shaped by who we are as individuals and the circumstances we find ourselves in. In essence, Thomas Erikson underscores that human behavior is a complex interplay of nature and nurture, with our core values and attitudes guiding our natural responses to external stimuli. Effective communication hinges on understanding these dynamics, recognizing how others interpret situations and act accordingly, and adapting our own behaviors to foster better connections. Chapter 3: An Introduction to the System. In his book, Thomas Erikson delves into the fascinating world of human behavior and communication, introducing a unique color-coded system called DISA. This system categorizes individuals into 4 main behavior types: red, yellow, green, and blue. Each type is associated with a color and specific character traits. Erikson explains that around 80% of people have two colors dominating their behavior, while approximately 5% are dominated by just one color. The rest exhibit characteristics of all four colors, though in varying degrees. He emphasizes understanding individual colors, or ingredients, as the foundation for comprehending overall behavior, akin to grasping a recipe before cooking. The most prevalent combination is entirely green behavior, or green paired with another color. On the flip side, pure red behavior, or red combined with one other color, is the least common. Throughout his book, Erikson explores these colors individually because they form the basic building blocks of human conduct. This approach allows readers to identify their own strengths and weaknesses within each color category. Imagine encountering someone who is naturally decisive like a red, perhaps a friend who always knows exactly what to do in a crisis, leaving you wishing you had that same assertiveness. Or consider a social butterfly, effortlessly striking up conversations with anyone, a typical yellow trait that might make you yearn for similar ease in interacting with strangers. Perhaps you admire someone's laid-back attitude, their ability to relax without worry, a common green trait. Conversely, you might envy a meticulously organized blue someone who always seems to have everything under control, unlike your often disarrayed self. Erikson suggests that this book will help readers see both their own strengths and areas for improvement across these color categories. For instance, you may recognize tendencies to overcontrol others, a red trait, or talk excessively, a yellow trait. Maybe you'll notice a propensity to procrastinate, a green trait, or constantly worry about potential dangers, a blue trait. The author encourages active engagement with the material. He advises readers to jot down insights, underline key points, and interact deeply with the content. By doing so, you'll not only understand others better, but also gain self-awareness, learning how to navigate your unique blend of behavioral traits effectively. Chapter 4: Red Behavior: How to Recognize a Real Alpha and Avoid Getting in His Way. Thomas Erikson's analysis focuses on the choleric behavior type, also known as Reds. These individuals are highly ambitious and driven, with an unwavering belief in their ability to achieve great things through hard work. Reds are easily recognizable due to their extroverted nature and love for challenges. They're task-oriented and prefer leading roles, often taking calculated risks without much thought of potential consequences. Their competitive spirit drives them constantly, turning every situation into a form of competition, even if the stakes are trivial. Pell, one of Erikson's former neighbors, exemplified this when he began gardening to surpass Erikson's beautiful garden, driven by his competitive nature. Reds express their thoughts openly and honestly. They don't shy away from sharing their opinions directly, often catching others off guard with their bluntness. For them, saying what they think is simply stating the truth. This candidness can be both a strength, energizing teams with their enthusiasm and drive, and a weakness, often causing friction due to their unfiltered communication style. Their competitive nature extends beyond obvious arenas like sports or business. Reds love any challenge, no matter how minor the competition. They might race to finish reading a book faster, or dominate a casual family game of Monopoly, purely for the joy of winning. Their intentions are usually not malicious. They just want to win and prove their abilities. Reds value time highly, equating quick with good. They're impatient with delays or inefficiency, preferring swift decision-making over lengthy discussions. Bjorn, a Red CEO from Erikson's past, illustrates this trait. His meetings were short and to the point because he detested wasting time on unnecessary talks. Reds have boundless ambition, setting high standards for themselves. They see challenges as opportunities rather than threats. If they believe in a task or project, they'll push themselves to the limit, refusing to accept anything less than excellence. This trait can sometimes lead to unrealistic expectations, but it's also what propels them, and often others, towards success. Reds communicate assertively and confidently, often dominating conversations due to their strong will and conviction. They aren't afraid to challenge prevailing views or introduce new ideas, even if it means drastic changes. This adaptability can be both beneficial, bringing fresh perspectives, and detrimental, causing instability by constantly shifting goals. In summary, understanding red behavior involves recognizing their intense drive, competitive nature, direct communication style, and time-conscious attitude. Whether in professional or personal settings, these traits make Reds powerful influencers who thrive on challenges and competition, all while maintaining a clear vision of their goals and the means to achieve them. Chapter 5: Yellow Behavior: How to Recognize Someone Whose Head is in the Clouds and Get Him Back to Reality Again. In the worldview of Thomas Erikson, we encounter the sanguine personality type, also known as yellows. These individuals are optimistic and cheerful, radiating a positive outlook on life. They're often described as men or women of possibilities, always searching for opportunities to enjoy themselves. Life, in their view, is one grand feast they intend to savor fully. Yellows are driven by joy and laughter. They see sunshine even when others perceive only gloom. Imagine a party. Yellows are the life of it, drawing everyone with their entertaining stories and lively spirit. If a situation grows dull, they swiftly seek out a more vibrant atmosphere. Identifying a yellow is straightforward. They're the ones who rarely stop talking. They answer questions that haven't been asked yet, using stories that may or may not relate to the topic. Their unshakable positivity ensures you can't stay upset for long. Yellows are more popular than other personality types, according to Erikson. Why? Because they entertain, lift spirits, and exciting things always happen around them. They captivate everyone's attention effortlessly and maintain it. Being with them feels good. They make us feel important and are simply delightful company. They're touchy-feely people like Reds, quick to make decisions, but often unable to explain them rationally. A more common response is, "It just felt right." While gut feelings should not be dismissed, studies show they're correct more than we think. Yellow's decision-making isn't always logical or thoughtful. It's more about immediate feelings. Erikson uses his sister Marita as an example of a yellow. She's so amiable that nobody has ever spoken negatively about her. Her unique charm allows her to connect with everyone instantly, keeping conversations light and funny, even when discussing trivial matters. Visiting Marita and her husband Leif uplifts Erikson. Their unwavering optimism is contagious, transforming his usual easygoing mood into pure joy and exhilaration. Yellows are relationship-focused, outgoing, and highly persuasive. They effortlessly engage with anyone, strangers included, whom they see as friends yet to be met. Their constant smiles and laughter make their invincible optimism infectious. Their unending enthusiasm and positivity define yellow behavior. Problems. What problems? They trust life will sort things out on its own, spreading joy and warmth to those around them with cheerful remarks and amusing jokes. Even in the face of adversity, like Erikson's friend Mick, who's had his share of hardships, including a troubled marriage, children's school issues, job losses due to employers' bankruptcies, multiple car accidents, home burglaries, and robberies, yellows can't stay upset for long. Their inherent positivity means they bounce back quickly from setbacks, always looking forward to the next positive moment. Their optimism is so powerful it can inspire others and dissolve opposition. Who wouldn't be cheered by someone always pointing out life's bright side? Yellows transform half-empty glasses into full ones, refusing to see anything but the positive. Marion, a sales director at a pharmaceutical company, is another excellent example of a yellow. Her success, according to her colleagues and managers, stems from her remarkable ability to inspire others. In sales meetings, she quickly rallies her team with simple, positive solutions, making even the most daunting tasks seem manageable. Yellows are incredibly resourceful, spotting solutions where others see dead ends. Their minds work differently. They flip situations upside down and think outside conventional boxes. This unconventional thinking, coupled with their rapid intellect, can be hard to keep up with. They often generate numerous ideas, but may struggle to explain or document them due to the abstract nature of their thought process. Their persuasive skills are remarkable. With energy and optimism, they see opportunities where others see dead ends, turning situations around effortlessly. Their language is rich and expressive, involving not just words but also gestures, creating a holistic impression that resonates deeply with listeners. For yellows, relationships are everything. Without them, they wilt. Building connections fuels their inspiration. In business, for instance, positive customer relationships are vital for success. They know many people and consider everyone a friend unless proven otherwise. The smooth functioning of teams is crucial to their happiness, as it allows their true nature to shine. In essence, yellows embody unbridled optimism and enthusiasm, constantly seeking joy and social togetherness. They infuse those around them with warmth and inspiration, making the world a brighter place. Chapter 6: Green Behavior: Why Change is So Difficult and How to Get Around It. Thomas Erikson explains the green personality type, highlighting their calm and balanced nature. Greens are often described as the average of other personality types, embodying a blend of traits that counterbalance more extreme behaviors. They're not overly stressed like reds, nor overly enthusiastic like yellows or perfectionistic like blues. Greens are easygoing and serene. They're the type who will never forget your birthday or try to steal the spotlight with their own achievements. In social situations, greens prefer harmony and don't typically compete with others. They're unlikely to take charge unless explicitly instructed to do so. Erikson notes that while greens may seem passive compared to other types, this trait makes them easy to get along with. They let people be themselves without demanding too much or causing unnecessary drama. Greens are often likened to little angels in children due to their compliant nature and tendency to follow routines. Greens are incredibly tolerant of others' quirks and behaviors, making them excellent at maintaining peace. They're less likely to offend others or argue against a boss's decisions. Greens strive to fit in and prioritize the group over individual desires, which contributes to their balanced nature. In relationships, greens are exceptional listeners and supportive friends. They're always ready to help, often putting others' needs before their own. Maja, a green character, is an excellent example. She was known for her unwavering assistance and thoughtfulness towards colleagues. When greens commit to something, they deliver reliably. They might not act swiftly, but they ensure tasks are completed within the expected timeframe. Their team-oriented mindset means they're motivated by pleasing others rather than personal gain. This selflessness and serenity often create a calming effect in their surroundings. Greens thrive in stable environments, valuing predictability and security. They're resilient during times of change, as long as their sense of safety isn't threatened. In contrast to reds, yellows, and blues, greens maintain consistency without drama when facing professional or personal upheaval. Erikson emphasizes that for greens, the group always comes before the individual. They naturally suppress their own needs to ensure others are satisfied, illustrating their deep concern for communal well-being. This characteristic also explains why greens can be challenging to pin down or get straight answers from. They're focused on maintaining harmony and avoiding conflict. Despite being introverted and preferring internal engagement, greens are excellent listeners. Unlike reds, who only listen for personal gain, or yellows, who rarely listen at all, greens genuinely hear what others say, even if they don't always provide solutions. This attentiveness makes them effective in roles requiring deep understanding of human issues, such as sales, where active listening is key. In summary, Thomas Erikson's exploration of the green personality type reveals individuals who bring balance and tranquility to any group. Their naturally supportive, tolerant, and reliable nature makes them ideal team players and trusted friends. Despite their passive demeanor, greens significantly contribute to maintaining harmony and ensuring tasks are completed thoughtfully and diligently. Chapter 7: Blue Behavior in Pursuit of Perfection. Thomas Erikson, in his exploration of human behavior, introduces the concept of the blue personality type. Blues are characterized by their meticulous nature and deep attention to detail. They are the individuals who prefer order and organization, often seen in how they arrange their homes or workspaces. For instance, a blue individual might have clear labels for each hook, where children can hang up their jackets or plan dinner menus over 6-week intervals to maintain dietary balance. Their belongings are always neatly organized, with everything having its designated place and nothing out of order. This is because blues value precision and dislike any form of sloppiness or carelessness. Blues are also known for their encyclopedic knowledge. They are the friends who can provide accurate, detailed information about almost anything, from sports trivia to historical facts. If challenged, they can easily retrieve the source of their knowledge. Their natural inclination is not to share information unless asked, as they see no need to boast about what they know. Despite their knack for detail and extensive knowledge, blues tend to be modest individuals. They rarely seek recognition or attention, preferring instead to let their work speak for itself. This modesty can sometimes lead to misunderstandings. A blue might not speak up in group discussions even when they have the solution, as they assume others haven't asked for their input. Blues are cautious and risk-averse, often thinking through every detail before making decisions. They prioritize quality over speed, meticulously checking every aspect of a task or project to ensure it's flawless. This thoroughness can sometimes lead to delays or reluctance to start tasks due to fear of potential mistakes. Their commitment to logic and rationality means they can become upset when things don't go their way, leading to feelings of depression despite their logical nature. Blues are reliable and consistent, always striving for precision and correctness in everything they do. They believe in doing tasks perfectly or not at all. In terms of communication, blues prefer logical discussions and value facts over emotions. They are introverted individuals who often observe rather than actively participate in conversations. When they do speak, it's usually after careful thought, making their words valuable and considered. Their silence doesn't reflect a lack of opinions, but rather an appreciation for carefully chosen moments to express themselves. Examples of famous blues include Bill Gates, known for his meticulous approach to business and technology, and Albert Einstein, whose groundbreaking theories were the result of deep thought and analysis. In fiction, Mr. Spock from Star Trek embodies this personality type with his logical and intellectual demeanor. Understanding these characteristics can significantly improve communication with blues. Recognize their need for order, respect their vast knowledge, and appreciate their cautious nature. Engage them in logical discussions and value their detailed insights. Remember, patience is key. They may need time to process information and formulate responses. By doing so, you can foster a more effective and harmonious interaction with these detail-oriented individuals. Chapter 8, No One is Completely Perfect, Strengths and Weaknesses. Thomas Erikson's chapter delves into understanding different human behavior patterns and effective communication. It introduces 4 primary colors, each representing distinct behavior styles: red, yellow, green, and blue. Reds are quick decision makers who can be impatient and controlling, often breaking rules to achieve results. They might come across as aggressive due to their direct communication style. For instance, a red colleague, Bjorn, frequently disregarded traffic laws to save time, costing him money in fines but saving him travel time. Yellows are entertaining and optimistic individuals who excel at storytelling and communication. However, they can dominate conversations, talk excessively, and have poor listening skills. A yellow might interrupt a story with unrelated topics because their current interest has waned. This can lead to frustration among others in the conversation. Greens are friendly and caring individuals who prioritize relationships over tasks. They can be passive, unwilling to initiate actions or make changes. Their reluctance to engage can be perplexing for their peers, as seen when a green doesn't ask about an author's writing progress despite knowing it's important to them. Blues are meticulous and detail-oriented individuals who value thoroughness and accuracy. They might appear overly critical and hesitant due to their high standards. For example, a Blue might spend excessive time ensuring every detail is perfect, causing frustration for those around them who prefer a more relaxed approach. Erikson emphasizes the importance of understanding these behavior patterns to communicate effectively. Recognizing someone's color, their primary behavior style, can help predict their actions and preferences, fostering better interactions. However, it's crucial to remember that each person is unique, and these are general trends rather than strict rules. In summary, Erikson's chapter offers insights into human behavior, highlighting the quirks and challenges associated with different behavior styles. By understanding these patterns, individuals can improve their communication and navigate social interactions more effectively. Chapter 9: Learning New Things, How to Use What You've Learned. Thomas Erikson, a seasoned observer and writer, delves into the intricacies of understanding human behavior and effective communication. He begins by noting that learning about these aspects isn't straightforward. It requires dedication, curiosity, and often years of study. For instance, Erikson's own journey began with Steur's assessment of people, sparking his interest in comprehending human interactions. Erikson asserts that if time were unlimited, learning about people wouldn't be a hassle. However, given the realities of life, it necessitates prioritization based on personal interests. Erikson himself has invested years in reading books, attending trainings, and leading courses to gain insight into human behavior, concluding that he's merely scratched the surface of this vast subject. The author points out that regardless of one's profession or life path, understanding people is vital. Whether you're an employee dealing with colleagues, a sales representative interacting with customers, a project manager guiding diverse experts, a managing director overseeing employees, a middle manager navigating hierarchical relationships, a self-employed entrepreneur seeking clients, a parent raising teenagers, a spouse, a sports coach, or a community leader, grasping human behavior smoothens personal and professional paths. Erikson introduces the concept of transforming theoretical knowledge into practical skills, using an analogy with language learning. Just as reading a book about Spanish is different from fluently speaking it, merely reading about human behavior isn't enough. He suggests that the DISA language IPD, or Institute for Personal Development's model, functions similarly to any other language. He emphasizes that this language of understanding people needs practice, not just periodic review. After studying his book, one might be tempted to apply these insights immediately. Initial attempts may involve misjudging others' personalities, possibly leading to slight awkwardness. Yet, with continuous practice and familiarity, this behavioral language will significantly improve how we connect with those around us. Erikson's ultimate goal is to spread awareness of this behavior classification method, aiming to reduce unnecessary conflicts stemming from misunderstood human actions. He believes that while some conflicts are inevitable, many can be avoided with better comprehension and empathy towards others' behaviors. Effective communication, he argues, isn't just about speaking, but also understanding, respecting, and adapting to the diverse ways people interact. Chapter 10: Body Language, Why How You Move Matters. How do you really look? Thomas Erikson begins his exploration of human behavior and effective communication by delving into the fascinating world of body language. This isn't just about what we say, but also how we carry ourselves and move. Body language is a vast, complex form of nonverbal communication that includes both conscious and unconscious signals. Erikson highlights that while there are common biological underpinnings to body language across different cultures and individuals, the expressions can vary greatly. Factors such as our mood, situation, and sense of safety can significantly influence our body language. For instance, a relaxed, natural posture often conveys self-confidence, whereas a shrunken posture might be seen as resignation or disappointment. Posture isn't the only aspect Erikson examines. He also looks at gaze, head and face movements, and hand gestures. A steady gaze typically suggests attentiveness, while fidgeting eyes could imply nervousness or distraction. Head tilts can show deep listening, whereas forehead wrinkles might signal sadness. As for hands, Erikson notes that handshake strength can reflect dominance, firm grip, or submission limp shake, while clenched fists often indicate aggression. He even hints at the complexity of the face and its 43 muscles, which can combine in countless ways to express various emotions. Erikson then discusses personal space, emphasizing its importance across all cultures. The personal zone is typically a few feet when interacting with someone you know, while the social zone extends from 3 to 10 feet between strangers. Moving on to specific behavioral profiles, Erikson introduces Reds. They tend to maintain distance, have strong handshakes, lean forward aggressively, make direct eye contact, and use controlling gestures. Reds are often recognizable by their assertive and dominant body language in crowded places or meetings. Their voices are usually strong and confident, even when under pressure. Yellows, on the other hand, are characterized by tactile behavior, relaxed and jocular demeanor, friendly eye contact, expressive gestures, and a tendency to come close physically. They radiate self-confidence and enthusiasm through their constant smiles, rapid speech, and open body language. Greens are generally calm and confident when at ease, but can lean back when uncomfortable. Their body language lacks flamboyance and suits smaller groups better. They're introverted, often preferring to blend into the background rather than be in the spotlight. Greens have a soft, warm voice and speak at a slower pace. Lastly, blues exhibit minimal body language. Their expressions remain mostly neutral, making them seem detached or even emotionless. They keep others at arm's length, favor stillness over movement, and speak in a controlled, deliberate manner without many gestures. Understanding these different behavioral profiles can enhance our communication skills by allowing us to interpret and respond more effectively to various body language cues. Chapter 11, a real-life example, the company party, how to understand everyone you meet. Thomas Erikson, a banking veteran, shares intriguing insights about human behavior and communication from his days in the financial sector. In the 1990s, at one of his branches, he noticed distinct personality types among his colleagues: blues, greens, yellows, and a red boss. Under pressure from demanding customers and each other, the team was exhausted and irritable. A yellow advisor, tired of everyone's gloomy mood, proposed a solution: an office party. She suggested a weekend getaway to a nearby conference center with a spa, gym, stylish rooms, and trendy restaurant. Her charisma convinced the red boss to approve the plan swiftly. Excitement surged among the yellows and reds, but a blue credit manager raised a concern. How would they travel 20 miles to the venue? The yellow advisor, overjoyed with the party approval, didn't consider this until pressed. Meanwhile, the blue colleague worried about logistics, pointing out various options like cars or taxis, but not making a decision himself. The greens intervened, volunteering to drive their own cars and pick everyone up. This appeased the yellow advisor and silenced the blue's doubts. The team looked forward to the party, yet it didn't happen as planned. The yellow advisor missed it due to double booking, perhaps for a wedding or birthday celebration. At the party, Thomas observed fascinating changes in behavior under alcohol's influence. 1. 4 cheerful yellow salespeople became silent and pensive as they drank more. Their usual positive energy faded, leading one to brood over his career. 2. The usually reserved blue credit manager transformed into a lively, joke-telling party animal after consuming alcohol. 3. The stern red boss, under the influence, shared personal feelings with green administrators, only to receive harsh criticism in return. He was accused of being a demanding and unappreciative leader. Embarrassed, he left early. Despite these shifts, Monday brought normalcy back to the office. The yellows resumed joking, the blue kept silent, and the red boss resumed his stern demeanor. The greens remained distant. Thomas Erikson concluded that alcohol doesn't just alter behavior, it does so in unexpected ways. He encourages readers to observe their peers under similar conditions to understand these nuances fully. Remember, though, to drink responsibly. Chapter 12, Adaptation, How to Handle Idiots. Thomas Erikson delves into the complexities of human behavior and effective communication in his insightful exploration. He posits that understanding different behavioral profiles can significantly enhance our interactions with others. These profiles, as Erikson describes, include red, yellow, green, and blue types, each with distinct characteristics and preferences. Erikson begins by acknowledging that people often question why others don't see things the same way they do. He humorously introduces the idea that intelligence is measured by agreement, suggesting that those who align with our views are intelligent, while those who don't are deemed less so. He then emphasizes the importance of adapting to various personalities for better communication and collaboration. Erikson introduces the concept of emotional intelligence, EI, or emotional quotient, EQ, which refers to our ability to perceive, understand, and manage emotions. This skill is crucial in navigating diverse behavioral profiles. Erikson explains that we naturally exhibit core behaviors, but adapting to others requires effort and energy. He uses the metaphor of a chameleon, suggesting that while it's possible to change our behavior, it's not always necessary or beneficial. The author then discusses the ideal scenario, a world where everyone can be themselves and harmony prevails without conflicts. However, he points out that changing others is unrealistic, and we must adapt instead. Erikson presents a real-life example of Adam, a successful entrepreneur resistant to behavioral categorization. Adam's story illustrates the potential challenges and misunderstandings when one refuses to adapt their communication style to suit different audience types. The narrator then transitions into detailed sections about adapting to each color type. 1. Red, Erikson advises that reds value speed, directness, and results. To communicate effectively with a red, one should be swift in action and dialogue, focusing on the main point without unnecessary details. Flattery or small talk is generally discouraged, as it wastes time. 2. Yellows thrive in friendly environments and are creative risk-takers. To connect with a yellow, maintain a positive atmosphere, engage in broad discussions, and show genuine interest. They may struggle with details and prefer the big picture. 3. Greens prioritize security and stability. They dislike uncertainty and prefer structured, predictable environments. To communicate effectively with a green, provide clear plans, maintain consistency, and address their fears or concerns directly. 4. Blues are meticulous and value quality. They appreciate thorough preparation and precise information. To interact effectively with a blue, be highly organized, present detailed facts, and demonstrate a commitment to high-quality work. Erikson concludes by stressing the importance of adapting our communication styles to suit different behavioral profiles for better understanding and collaboration. He encourages readers to tune into others' frequencies, recognize their own strengths and weaknesses, and learn to meet people halfway in their approaches. This way, we can foster more effective relationships and teamwork. Chapter 13, How to Deliver Really Bad News, The Challenge of Speaking Your Mind. Thomas Erikson, a leadership expert, delves into the complexities of delivering feedback effectively based on different personality types or colors: red, yellow, green, and blue. He emphasizes that understanding these behaviors can significantly improve how we communicate and interact with others. Reds are achievers who are results-oriented. They don't usually take criticism well, as they believe they're always right. Erikson advises delivering negative feedback to a red by being straightforward, using concrete examples, focusing on facts rather than feelings, and ensuring the person understands how their behavior impacts others. For instance, if a red is overly critical at work, Erikson suggests explaining that this habit can reduce team morale and productivity. Yellows, on the other hand, thrive on change and are natural entertainers. However, they may resist feedback as they prefer to dictate changes themselves. When giving negative feedback to a yellow, Erikson recommends using an agenda, providing specific examples of their behavior's impact, and ensuring they comprehend your concerns without feeling personally attacked. For example, if a yellow dominates conversations, you could point out that this leaves others feeling unheard, suggesting they should allow equal participation instead. Greens are detail-oriented individuals with weaker egos who may feel devastated by criticism and withdraw. Erikson advises giving negative feedback to a green gently, focusing on specific behaviors rather than personal attributes, and ensuring the person realizes that correcting the behavior won't diminish their value. For instance, if a green is overly perfectionistic, you could explain how this hinders progress and suggest setting more reasonable standards. Blues are perfectionists who value accuracy and thoroughness. They may challenge feedback rigorously due to their attention to detail. Erikson recommends giving blues precise, fact-based criticism in writing, avoiding emotional language or personal praise. For example, if a blue is consistently late with projects, specify the time lost and its financial impact rather than generalizing about their work pace. Erikson stresses that regardless of the person's color, feedback should be clear, concise, and focused on specific behaviors, not personal attributes. He also advises asking the recipient to summarize the feedback to confirm understanding and following up to ensure changes are being made. Effective communication in this context isn't just about conveying a message, but doing so in a way that respects the other person's unique traits and motivations. Chapter 14, Who Gets Along and Why It Works, Group Dynamics at Their Finest. Thomas Erikson, in his exploration of human behavior and effective communication, introduces the concept of 4 distinct color-coded personality types: red, blue, green, and yellow. Each type represents different driving forces that influence how individuals interact, make decisions, and work in teams. Reds are decisive and action-oriented, often focusing on results rather than processes. They're outgoing and verbal, setting high goals and moving swiftly forward. On the other hand, blues value process over result, preferring to think before acting. They're introverted, meticulous, and focused on ensuring quality outcomes. Greens are more accommodating than demanding, making them excellent cooperative team players. They prioritize understanding people's interests and are patient listeners. Yellows, however, are enthusiastic and talkative, often diving into tasks without clear instructions or detailed planning. Erikson suggests that certain color combinations work better together due to shared energies or complementary focuses. For instance, blues and greens align well because of their shared introverted nature and focus on depth over speed. Similarly, reds and yellows thrive together as both are extroverted and driven by action. However, some combinations present challenges. A red and green team might struggle initially due to differing work paces. A red is swift while a green prefers thoroughness. Likewise, a yellow's talkative spontaneity could clash with a blue's analytical, detail-oriented approach. Erikson underscores the importance of self-awareness and understanding others' behavior patterns for effective team dynamics. Awareness can help navigate these potential pitfalls, turning challenges into strengths. For example, in a red-green pairing, recognizing their contrasting styles can lead to a balanced approach where the green's patience complements the red's decisiveness. Erikson also notes that individuals rarely fit neatly into one color category. Most people exhibit traits from 2 or 3 colors. These multifaceted personalities can make interpretation trickier, but understanding the dominant colors provides valuable insights. In conclusion, Erikson emphasizes that knowing these color-coded personality types, their strengths, weaknesses, and how they interact is crucial for building effective teams and communicating well. Whether it's recognizing a green's need for people-oriented tasks or a blue's preference for careful planning, this knowledge can foster smoother collaboration and mutual understanding among team members. Chapter 15, Written Communication: How to Evaluate Someone When You Can't Meet in Person. In his book, Thomas Erikson delves into the fascinating world of human behavior and communication styles, particularly as revealed through written words. According to Erikson, everyone has a unique color, a distinct way of expressing themselves that can be observed in their writing style. For instance, someone who takes time to craft detailed, well-thought-out messages might be classified as a green. They value precision and thoroughness, ensuring every word carries weight. On the other hand, a person who prefers brevity, getting straight to the point, could be seen as a red. Their writing is direct and to the point, with little room for fluff. Erikson suggests that even an email can unveil a lot about its author. Let's say you're responding to a customer's message. By examining their email, you can pick up on crucial cues. Is it factual and straightforward? Or does it have a personal touch, showing the writer's individuality? Is it succinct or seemingly written spontaneously? Each of these aspects provides valuable insights into the writer's character. Take, for example, an email from Christian Johnson, meeting tomorrow morning at 11. Be punctual. The use of capital letters and the blunt reminder might suggest a red trait, someone who communicates in a no-nonsense manner. As a receiver, Erikson advises replying promptly, but without fuss. A simple okay would suffice. Now contrast this with another email from Christian. Hello, Sina. What's up? Were you at the game last night? I saw that Lass was there. He spilled his drink all over himself, and I thought that I would never stop laughing. Check out the picture I put on Facebook. By the way, I thought we could sit down and chat about that customer tomorrow morning before lunch if it works for you. Is 11 o'clock okay? Here, Christian's easygoing style, full of personal anecdotes and casual banter, points towards a yellow. When interacting with such individuals, Erikson recommends responding in kind, cordially, and without rushing, appreciating their story and humor. Erikson also notes that people aren't always consistent. Sometimes, circumstances dictate their communication style. For instance, Christian might adjust his tone for professional emails, as seen in this message. I just wanted to remind you about the meeting tomorrow at 11. Hope it still works for you. I'm going to bring in some homemade cinnamon buns to have with our coffee. This thoughtful and polite note suggests a blue inclination, someone who prioritizes professionalism and preparation, ensuring all bases are covered. In response, Erikson advises expressing gratitude while maintaining a relaxed demeanor. Finally, consider this meticulously crafted email. Good morning, Christina. Ahead of tomorrow's meeting with our client, I would appreciate it if you could familiarize yourself with the necessary background information. Here, Christian's factual, business-like tone suggests a blue. When interacting with blues, Erikson advises acknowledging receipt and promising to review the attached materials thoroughly, understanding that they anticipate careful consideration of their messages. Through these examples, Erikson underscores the significance of recognizing different communication styles in human interactions. Understanding whether someone leans towards being a green, red, yellow, or blue can greatly enhance how we communicate and respond to them effectively. Chapter 16, What Makes Us as Mad as Hell? Temperament can reveal everything about a person. Thomas Erikson delves into the concept of human behavior and communication, focusing on 4 distinct temperaments. These are not about how people get mad, but about their reactions to unexpected situations or changes, essentially, their dispositions. Erikson likens these temperaments to different drinking glasses to help visualize each type. The first is the red temperament, akin to a shot glass. Reds can quickly become irritated over minor issues like traffic jams or slow escalator riders. They express their anger openly, but don't hold on to it long, much like how a shot glass fills and empties swiftly. While their outbursts may catch others off guard, they're typically brief and soon forgotten by the red themselves. However, frequent triggers can make their behavior seem unpredictable to observers. Next is the yellow temperament, resembling an everyday drinking glass. Yellows are outgoing and expressive, making it clear when they're nearing their boiling point. Unlike reds, they don't explode suddenly. Instead, their irritation builds gradually, allowing others to see the escalating tension in their eyes, gestures, and voice. When they do lose their temper, it's more of a spill than a sudden eruption, causing more widespread discomfort but still manageable. Yellows often feel remorse for overreacting, leading them to compensate with extra kindness afterwards. Erikson then introduces the green temperament, represented by a large beer barrel. Greens tend to absorb frustrations internally rather than displaying them externally. They rarely show their anger publicly, preferring conflict avoidance. As a result, they can accumulate grievances over time without anyone realizing it until the barrel overflows. When this happens, expect a flood of complaints about past perceived injustices, as greens struggle to contain their feelings. This can lead to severe stress if not managed, potentially causing burnout. Lastly, Erikson describes the blue temperament, symbolized by a beer barrel with a small tap at the bottom. Blues, like greens, don't often show outward signs of anger. Instead, they release tension through minor, consistent grumblings, their own way of controlling stress levels. Their constant, low-level complaints might be seen as nagging by others, but serve as a crucial outlet for them to prevent pent-up frustrations from escalating. Understanding these temperaments can enhance communication and interaction with different people. Each type reacts uniquely to stress and pressure, and recognizing these differences allows for better management of interpersonal relationships. Despite these categorizations, Erikson reminds us that no one fits perfectly into a single box, and individual responses vary based on the significance of issues to them personally. Chapter 17, Stress Factors and Energy Thieves, What is Stress? In his insightful exploration, Thomas Erikson delves into the unique ways humans respond to stress, focusing on 4 distinct personality types: reds, yellows, greens, and blues. Each type reacts differently under pressure, revealing valuable insights for effective communication and conflict management. Erikson begins by clarifying that while anger and stress are separate feelings, they can be interconnected. Stress often stems from feeling overwhelmed with tasks or dealing with high expectations, not necessarily a lack of time. It can lead to self-criticism, powerlessness, sleep issues, and physical pain when we face demands beyond our coping abilities. Crucially, individuals react uniquely to stress, influenced by their past experiences and current moods. For instance, an invigorating work week might seem daunting to someone tired and lacking self-confidence, while the same period could be seen as a thrilling challenge by a well-rested, positive individual. Understanding what causes stress for each personality type can enhance communication and collaboration. Erikson uses driving forces, or motivators, as an unexplored but significant factor in managing stress. Recognizing these forces allows us to anticipate reactions and adjust expectations accordingly. Erikson then outlines specific triggers for each personality type. 1. Reds become stressed when they lack authority, show little progress, face mundane tasks, waste resources, endure routine, make trivial mistakes, or lose control over others. Under stress, a red may blame others and work harder, potentially exploding with frustration. To help them manage stress, Erikson suggests asking them to calm down or encouraging physical activity to burn off tension. 2. Yellows experience stress when ignored, encounter skepticism, are confined to structured work, isolated, discouraged from humor, forced into careful thought, engage in constant bickering, or face public embarrassment. Stressed yellows seek more attention and affirmation, potentially becoming overly optimistic or loud. Erikson recommends allowing them social interactions to alleviate stress. 3. Greens get stressed by lack of security, unfinished tasks, lack of private space, sudden changes, being asked to redo work, disagreements, center stage situations, and unstructured environments. Under pressure, greens become reserved and hesitant. Erikson advises giving them free time and privacy to manage stress effectively. 4. Blues feel stressed with unfounded criticism, spontaneous management decisions, uncertainty, surprises, rule-breaking at work, being told to take risks, and being around emotional people. Stressed blues become excessively pessimistic, lethargic, pedantic, and critical. Erikson suggests providing them privacy and time for thoughtful analysis to cope with stress. Erikson concludes by emphasizing the importance of understanding individual stress triggers in communication and team management. Pushing a red isn't as stressful as pushing a green or blue, highlighting the need for tailored approaches based on personality types. By respecting these differences, we can foster healthier interactions and environments. Chapter 18, a short reflection through history. People have always been like this. Thomas Erikson delves into the origins of human behavior categorizations, tracing them back to ancient times and modern psychology. His exploration begins with Hippocrates, the father of medicine, who proposed the theory of four humors, blood, yellow bile, black bile, and phlegm, that determined one's temperament. Hippocrates suggested these humors influenced human behavior. A person dominated by blood or sanguine would be cheerful and optimistic, akin to someone full of heart and spreading positive vibes. Those controlled by yellow bile or choleric were fiery and temperamental, sometimes intimidating those around them with their assertive ways. Phlegmatic individuals, influenced by phlegm or mucus, were slow-moving and sluggish. Lastly, melancholic people, dominated by black bile, were often seen as gloomy and pessimistic. Erikson then shifts focus to the Aztecs, an advanced civilization in central Mexico. They categorized individuals based on the four elements fire, air, earth, and water. Fire people were fiery and explosive, often warrior-like. Air people, though determined, were easygoing, akin to a captivating wind. Earth types worked for the community's well-being, embodying stability and security. Water individuals, respectful of their element's power, were observant and secure, capable of both destruction and control. These Aztec classifications echoed Hippocrates' humoral theory, albeit with different names. Erikson then introduces William Moulton Marston, a psychologist known for his work on lie detectors, but also for developing the DISC model of human behavior. In 1928, Marston published Emotions of Normal People, identifying four distinct personality traits: dominance, inspiration, submission, and analytic ability, formerly compliance. Dominance relates to how individuals tackle problems and challenges. Inspiration describes those who love influencing others, naturally persuasive. Stability measures resistance to change, from the nostalgic to the flexible. Analytic ability indicates adherence to rules, from the meticulous to the tolerant of mistakes. Marston's model uses colors for easy reference: red for dominance, blue for inspiration, green for submission, and black for analytic ability. Though most people are a blend of two traits, understanding these categories can improve communication and interactions. Erikson emphasizes that while these concepts may seem antiquated or theoretical, their practical application reveals significant differences in human behavior and communication styles. His research and subsequent developments by others, like Bill Binstetter's tools for comprehensive analysis, underscore the ongoing relevance of these behavioral insights in modern times. Chapter 19, Voices from Real Life. Thomas Erikson shares insights into human behavior through the DISA language system, a tool designed to enhance understanding among individuals with different personality profiles. Erikson interviews four people: Helena, Hakan, Elizabeth, and Stefan, each representing distinct color categories within this system: red, yellow, green, and blue, respectively. Helena, a CEO of a small company, mostly red with minor traces of yellow, finds the DISA language tool effective in reducing misunderstandings at work. She appreciates its straightforward nature, but suggests it could be more concise. Her key takeaway is learning to communicate her determination, not aggression, to her team. This understanding has improved her work relationships and decision-making process, though she still struggles with green colleagues' tendency to gossip. Hakan, a salesperson, identifies predominantly as yellow, but acknowledges some green traits. He values the tool's accuracy in describing his creative problem-solving skills and ability to charm people. Hakan disagrees with the book's portrayal of yellows as overly verbose when criticizing, and sees this aspect as an area for personal development. Elizabeth, a public health employee, primarily green but with some blue tendencies, finds the DISA language system enlightening about her cautious nature. It helps explain why she values cooperation over individual success, and why her husband, a yellow-blue mix, can be seen as optimistic yet disorganized. Elizabeth notes Red's efficiency, but views them as potentially insensitive. Stefan, an economist, classified primarily as blue with red elements, appreciates the tool's research base and comparative structure. He finds the portrayal of Reds impressive, especially their forward momentum, but acknowledges potential for carelessness due to lack of interest in details, crucial in his field. Stefan handles this by ensuring Red colleagues adhere to the plan. Regarding Yellows, Stefan finds them distracting and unreliable due to their lack of focus on factual accuracy and excessive storytelling. He suggests others respect his preference for professional interactions devoid of personal trivia. Through these narratives, Erikson underscores the importance of understanding different behavioral styles for effective communication. Each individual's strengths and weaknesses are highlighted, emphasizing the need to adapt communication methods based on who you're interacting with. This approach fosters better work relationships and overall mutual respect. Chapter 20, a quick little quiz to see what you've learned. Thomas Erikson, a renowned psychologist, presents an intriguing exploration into human behavior and communication in his work. He's created 4 distinct profiles, red, yellow, green, and blue, to categorize different personality types. These profiles help understand how people interact and can enhance our ability to communicate effectively with others. 1. Personality compatibility. Erikson suggests that individuals sharing similar profiles, like 2 yellows or 2 reds, generally agree on a social level. This means they likely have common interests and viewpoints, leading to smoother interactions. Conversely, contrasting pairs like blue and green may find it challenging to see eye to eye due to their differing perspectives and priorities. 2. Effective collaboration. Certain profile combinations excel at working together. For instance, green individuals complement any other type effectively, as they bring a balanced approach to problem solving. Meanwhile, 2 reds or 2 yellows can also gel well due to their shared drive and decisiveness. However, combining blue and red might lead to clashes in decision-making styles and pace. 3. Leadership tendencies. According to Erikson, the red profile naturally gravitates towards leadership roles. Their assertive nature, combined with a clear vision, makes them suited for heading projects or teams. 4. Professional skills. In terms of professions, surgeons, who need precision, resilience under pressure, and quick decision-making skills, align best with the red profile. Its decisive nature, focus on outcomes, and ability to stay calm in critical situations suit this demanding job. 5. Public speaking. Yellow individuals, characterized by their charisma and enthusiasm, would most enjoy giving speeches. Their passion and energy captivate audiences, making them natural speakers and presenters. 6. Email management. Blue profiles, known for their meticulousness, would reliably remember where they saved emails or documents. Their organized nature ensures nothing gets lost in the digital clutter. 7. Decision-making style. Reds prioritize decisiveness over gathering extensive information before making decisions. Their confidence in taking quick action is a key trait. 8. Punctuality. Regardless of profile, everyone appreciates reliability. However, Blue's structured nature may ensure they're always on time due to their systematic approach to scheduling and planning. 9. Rule flexibility. Reds are most likely to bend rules when necessary for results, reflecting their pragmatic and outcome-focused mindset. 10. Adaptability. Yellows exhibit the highest willingness to try new methods or approaches to achieve goals. Their openness and optimism drive this adaptability. 11. Criticism resilience. Reds tend to hold onto critical feedback for longer, demonstrating their competitive nature and drive for continuous improvement. 12. Resourcefulness. Despite potential disorganization, blue being the exception, greens intuitively know where to find necessary resources due to their problem-solving skills and adaptability. 13. Decision initiative. Reds consistently show a drive to initiate decisions and take charge, aligning with their assertive leadership tendencies. 14. Fashion sense. Yellows, driven by positivity and expressiveness, are more likely to stay updated with the latest fashion trends as part of their outgoing personality. 15. Challenge embrace. Yellows eagerly welcome new challenges, embodying optimism and enthusiasm that fuel their engagement in diverse experiences. 16. Judgment speed. Reds form quick impressions about others due to their direct, assertive communication style. 17. Team composition. A team comprising 2 greens or a mix of all profiles could be the most effective, balancing various strengths and ensuring comprehensive coverage of project needs. 18. Verbal engagement. Reds dominate conversations due to their assertiveness and directness. 19. Idea adaptation. Yellows swiftly assimilate new ideas because of their enthusiasm, open-mindedness, and positive attitude. 20. Task delegation. Reds might delegate tasks but still complete them themselves due to their competitive nature and desire for results. 21. Listening skills. Greens, with their empathetic nature, excel as the best listeners by valuing others' viewpoints and feelings. 22. Instruction completion. Blues, with their meticulous nature, are least likely to overlook final steps in instructions or tasks. Erikson's profiles provide insights into human behavior, facilitating better understanding and communication among diverse personality types. Recognizing these differences can help navigate personal interactions, professional environments, and team dynamics more effectively. Chapter 21. A final example from everyday life. Thomas Erikson conducted an intriguing experiment with a group of managers from a telecom company during a conference. These managers, each possessing strong qualifications and successful careers, were divided into 4 groups based on their communication styles: red, yellow, green, and blue. The task they needed to accomplish was related to their field and required teamwork. The red group was characterized by high volume and conflict. 3 members loudly argued their points while one worked independently, producing rapid but unrelated ideas. This group finished quickly but solved a different problem than the one given, focusing more on speed than accuracy. They presented confidently, expecting praise, but their approach wasn't aligned with the task. The yellow group was lively and enthusiastic. Members engaged in animated discussions, enjoyed socializing, and tried to convince each other of their ideas. Their presentation was entertaining, masking the fact they hadn't fully solved the problem. They prioritized positivity over precision, which led to a lack of coherent solution. The green group exhibited tranquility. 5 members listened intently while one shared a personal story. Despite their calm demeanor, they struggled to agree on solutions due to a lack of clear direction. Their presentation was subtle, but lost its message amid anxiety and uncertainty. Lastly, the blue group operated in near silence. Members focused intensely on detail, meticulously analyzing every aspect of the problem. Though thorough, they moved slowly and struggled to finalize a solution within the given time. Their presentation was orderly, but lacked timely completion. Erikson's experiment highlighted the importance of diverse communication styles in teamwork. Each group's approach, red's speed, yellow's enthusiasm, green's harmony, and blue's precision, had its strengths and weaknesses. However, when a team is composed solely of individuals with similar styles, it can lead to missed opportunities or inefficiencies. For effective communication and collaboration, Erikson suggests mixing different types of people. Not everyone needs to be a dynamic leader like the red group's members or an engaging storyteller like some from the yellow group. Instead, a balanced team with a blend of directness, enthusiasm, harmony-seeking, and meticulousness can achieve better dynamics and results. Understanding these communication style differences is crucial for creating productive teams, as each style brings unique strengths to problem-solving and collaboration. And that brings us to the end of our summary of this book. I hope you found it insightful and valuable. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe for more. Your support helps us bring you more great content. Thanks for watching.